Today we're continuing to look at parallel lines cut by a transversal, specifically angle measures. So your essential question, how do I find angle measures when parallel lines are cut by a transversal? Your learning intention, I'm learning to find missing angle measures when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. You have 2 warm-up questions. Please pause the video and see if you can do those on your own. If you can, then you know that you are understanding the concepts. So pause the video now. Well, I hope that you tried. So as we're looking at this, on the first one, what do we know and how do we use it? Well, we know that the measure of angle 1 is 25 degrees. We know vertical angles are congruent, so the measure of 3 must also be 25 degrees. Okay, that was easy. Now what? Which other one can we do without any math at all? We know that this tells us we have a right angle. This will be 90 degrees. Okay. So let's look for angle 2. What do we know about angle 2? If I cover the top part up, angle 1 and angle 2 form a line. They are what we call a linear pair. How many degrees are in a line? 180. So to find the missing measure there, we can take 180 degrees minus 25 degrees. Let's think about what kind of angles they are. Okay, here's my lines. Interior, alternate interior. Alternate interior angles are congruent. If they're congruent, then we know that 2x degrees is going to be 24 degrees. Divide both sides by 2. And x equals 12. Okay, the following value of x. Find the following value of x in the following examples and justify your answer. So if I'm looking at these two, I know what about these two angles? Are they congruent or are they supplementary, and why? What type of angles are they? Corresponding angles. We know that corresponding angles are congruent. We're going to use our symbolism here to make it less writing. If they're congruent, then their measures are equal. 120 degrees is equal to 5x plus 40 degrees. Time to solve. Step 1. What do we do first? Subtract 40 from both sides. It's gone. 120 minus 40 is 80. 80 degrees is equal to 5x. What do we do last? Divide by 5. And 15 degrees is equal to x. Have I done my math correctly? Well, let's check it out. So, 120 minus 40, I get 80. That was correct. divide by 5, I get 16. Whoop, I was 1 degree off. So x should be equal to 16 degrees, not 15. That's why you check your math. So if this is 120, this is 120 degrees, 120 degrees, and 120 degrees. What about the rest of them? 180 degrees minus 120 degrees will give me 60 degrees. If you know one angle, you know 4. 180 minus 120 is 60. I didn't mess that one up. Part of doing math is learning from your mistakes. I've learned in the past that when I do math in my head, I don't always get it right. So I always check with a calculator to make sure I've done it correctly. Okay, we've got a parallel, or this would be a trapezoid because we've got one pair of opposite sides parallel. So the question now becomes, are these angles congruent or are they supplementary? The one thing that I did not put on this is the fact that the legs are congruent. This is what we call an isosceles trapezoid. Okay, so if I'm looking, are these two going to be congruent or are they going to be supplementary? Supplementary is correct. They are consecutive or we would be same side, interior angles, and they are supplementary. Supplementary means that their measures add up to 180 degrees. 6x minus 22 plus 8x plus 34 is equal to 180 degrees. Combine your like terms. We have two numbers. 6x plus 8x is 14x. We also have negative 22 plus 34. In other words, 34 minus 22. So that should be 12 is equal to 180 degrees. So let's check the math. Start with 6 plus 8, just in case we're having a really bad day, 14. Negative 22 plus 34, or 34 minus 22, is 12. Now, what do we do next? We're ready to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides, 12 degrees. 14x is equal to, we've got it gone from here, so should be 168 degrees. Last step is to divide by 14. and x is equal to, okay, 180 minus 12, 168, divided by 14 is 12. So x is equal to 12. Okay, that gave us x, but now what about the angle measures? Well, let's look at the first angle. 6x minus 22, which is equal to 6 times 12 minus 22. 72 minus 22 should be 50, but let's make sure. 6 times 12 minus 22. It is 50. Okay, so this one is 50 degrees here. Now, because this is isosceles, your base angles are the same, so this one is also 50 degrees. To find the other one, it is much simpler just to take 180 minus 50, and you could do that. Or you can take 8x plus 34, which is equal to 8 times 12 plus 34, and that should be 130 degrees. 180 degrees minus 50 degrees is 130 degrees. Let's check. 8 times 12 plus 34, 130. We have done the math correctly, so we are in good shape. Okay, pause the video and see if you can set the next one up. The one thing I didn't tell you is if this is 130 degrees, the other one is also 130 degrees because they are isosceles. Now, step 1, is it congruent or supplementary? Set up the equation. Well, I do hope you tried. These are also those consecutive or same side interior angles. So these will be supplementary. So 4x minus 1 plus 3x minus 8 is equal to 180 degrees. Put all those little degree symbols back in. 4x plus 3x. 4x plus 3x is how many x's total? 7x. Negative 1 minus 8 more. Negative 1 plus negative 8 is negative 9. Is equal to 180 degrees. Now we're ready to solve. Add 9 to both sides. Seven x is equal to 189 degrees. Divide by 7. X is equal to, well, it will go in to 14, that would be 2. 49 would be 7, so it would be 27 degrees. Let's check to make sure. I am correct. So I've got 4x minus 1 which gives me 4 times 27 minus 1. 4 times 27 minus 1. Syntax error, I got in too big of a hurry. 4 times 27 minus 1 is 107. Very quickly, this will be 107 degrees, 107 degrees, and 107 degrees. For the last one, 3 times 27 minus 8 is equal to 73 degrees. How did I find that so fast? I took 180 minus 107. This could also be 180 degrees minus 107 degrees. The rest are all 73 degrees. And we are done. Okay, the last one you should do on your own. Pause the video. Step 1, are they congruent or are they supplementary, and why? Make sure you're working on it on your own. Pause the video and work. Okay, so let's think about the congruent. Which are congruent? This will be congruent, this will be congruent, this will be congruent, and this will be congruent. So it's pretty obvious that they are going to be supplementary. That means they add up to 180. 9x plus 3 plus 114 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Step 1, set up your equation. Step 2, combine those like terms. Well, we have only got one x, but we've got two numbers that we can combine. 9x plus 3 plus 114 is 117 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Time to solve. Subtract 117 from both sides. I've eliminated it here. I'm left with 9x. Is equal to, that will be a 3, and then 7 minus 1 is 6, 63 degrees. Divide both sides by 9. And x is equal to 7. For me, to find, so I know these are all 114. For me, it is so much easier to simply take 180 degrees minus 114 degrees, and that will give me 66 degrees. Can I plug and chug? 9 times 7 plus 3? Yeah, I can. So all the rest are 66 degrees. How do you know when you're successful? You know you're successful when you can find missing angle measures when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. What are our steps? Decide. Are they congruent or supplementary? Set up your equation. And then finally, you're going to solve. Good luck.